What's going on, everybody? We got Gamers in Drago episode 3. Coming with me. We just got my panel today. I just wanted the three of us. There's a good amount of topics. We got the lot coming at you. The main topic being the EA merger and the all the potentiality that comes with that.
Potential EA merger.
Yeah, right. We also got some smaller topics to go along with that, but without further ado, let me introduce my chat. We got Darren, the wise old gamer here. And Darren, what you been doing this week, buddy?
I have been suffering the Resident Evil chronological order walkthrough on Twitch. It turned out to like controller slam down this afternoon. I thought, no, that's it. I'm done. But that's what I've been doing anyway. And I've got a new job with the local health service in the hospital as well, starting next week. So I'm quite looking forward to the life at the moment. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
How's the beer bug down there?
Awesome.
Out there.
How's the what?
How's the beer bug?
The beer bug. I haven't heard about that one.
COVID.
Oh, apparently it's quite rife in the hospital where I'm working. So I'm gonna. I've had my shot, so I'll just have to be a bit careful.
Cool. Legit. That's good to hear. Wise, you're up next, buddy. What you been doing this week? I understand next week you got some serious surgery going on and stuff. I don't know if you want to go into that or not, but
yeah, I'm bleeding for. Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to my homies at Retro Renegades. They got me this awesome T-shirt, so thank you guys for doing that. Just awesome show. If you guys don't know about Retro Renegades, they have Tuesday evening a show. It's 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Central. I don't know what time that is at your local time, but look them up. It is really cool. It's a whole panel of folks, and it is just like basically hanging out with a bunch of best friends and shooting the shit. So definitely check them out. Yeah, been playing Horizon. Can't finish it up. Been I think I got close to 150 hours in that game now. Level 48 right now. Still don't want to finish it. Yeah, just been playing a lot of that, and it's the end of the school year, so basically got paid.
Yeah.
Got paid, got my final grades in, and got a whole bottle of Viagra. So somebody's getting fucked tonight. Yeah.
Oh, so you're like a week and a half ahead of us. We still got one more week of. We do this thing called field days, where we have like the feeder schools of like elementary schools. They come up to us and we do this. It's kind of cool because every teacher has like a small group, and it's a group of your students, right? Of students that you have, and I got like 9 of them or 11 of them or somewhere in there, depending on the absences and whatnot. But anyways, the students lead the teaching in this whole thing, so it's kind of like,
cool.
you got more days of that. So it's kind of like a day off for me, and I just, basically watch them and make sure no one gets killed and whatnot.
Now, is that your current school or the school that you're going to be teaching in when you go down to Georgia?
Wait, say that again?
Is that your current school that you were teaching at, or is that the school that you're going to be teaching in?
Yeah, that is my current school. We still got a week and a half left. So,
oh, wow.
And then last teacher work day is on the 3rd. So yeah, man, I'm super psyched for the summer, and all we gotta do is move down.
We start pretty early though. We start like in the first week of August. That's why we end pretty fast too. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass going in the first week of August because it's hot as hell. Nobody wants to be there, and the school stinks because it just sits there unoccupied for the entire summer. But it's days like this or weeks like this when everyone else is still in school and we're out that sort of pays basically dividends. So yeah. And about the surgery,
do you usually do like projects over the summer or anything like that, or do you just like use this time to literally hit that reset button and kind of refresh and whatnot?
Well, summer, they tell us that's the time for us to get our basically our education hours in, so that we can get recertified every 3 years. I don't know if you've heard about this, but I'm trying to go for national boards, which basically is like writing a PhD dissertation again. And I'm going to be doing a lot of that over the summer as well. So studying for the test, which is just a math test. So I'm not really worried about the test, but it's all this recording and crap that I have to do. So if I do get national board certified, then it comes with a pretty good bump in pay. So yeah, we're going to be working on that this summer.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's good to hear. All right, so everyone's doing really good professionally. Let's keep that positive energy going, and let's see if Call of Duty passes the test, because that is our first topic of the night. First topic, Warzone 2 details leak, including Rainbow Six-like interrogation system. So I know, Wise, you said you weren't too much into the Call of Duty or something, but I have been in Call of Duty, and I have been an avid Call of Duty gamer.
As long as you don't use this to inject some topic about Smite, I'm good. So talk about Call of Duty.
Well, you said it, not me. Hey, and that's every episode. Every single episode, someone's brought it up before me. I just want people to point that out, because I'm going to have to bring it up sooner or later.
I want to go ahead and say in advance, shut the fuck up, please. Go ahead. You have your soapbox. Go ahead.
It was actually really hard for me to pass on this Smite topic this week, because it was like the biggest update of its life, and they're bringing back classic Conquest, and that's like I haven't even played that. The map is like a pre-release build of the map, so like very few people have played it, and especially like the players around now, very little of them have played that. So but hey, my buddy Whiskey Mike that always plays with me in Smite, he bailed on me this weekend because he had a freaking a wedding to go to, so I didn't even get to play because it's only a 1-day event, so it's on Saturdays, and I got screwed out of that. But yeah, 5v5. See, you get me going, man. I can keep going on Smite. I'm gonna try and.
Oh, I bet you wish you hadn't started this now, Was.
Jesus Christ! I think I'm gonna go. I'll be back. I'm gonna go masturbate and be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, when do you guys gotta stop me, man? We need like I don't know, some kind of keyword.
Where's Percolator when you need him? That's what I gotta say. Where's Percolator? When
right. You're right. You would be all over that in the chat. You're right.
Yeah.
Where's the perk at, man? That's that fraud. All right.
So you're talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. We got this new interrogation system. Like I was saying, I've been playing Call of Duty since the early 2000s. Back on the 360, man. And this Call of Duty, we're getting small leaks here and there. And it's all, what do you call it? The war zone or whatever. That's what I'm super excited about. I could care less about the campaign, The multiplayer, I could care really less about that because that hasn't moved my hype meter in a long, long time. Probably about 5-6 years at least. So let me know if you guys, Darren, I'm going to start with you. Let me know if you play Warzone or not. Do you like the battle royale mode and whatnot?
No, I'm going to turn this conversation into a why have a Warzone 2? Right, well, it's pointless.
Okay.
Why don't they just improve on the first one like Fortnite does? Fortnite's always improving with their add-ons, their Master Chief, etc. Aren't they? They're not doing so, as it's very likely Bobby Kotick, he loves doing sequels, doesn't he? So he knows how he's going to make his money. Oh, let's do a Warzone 2. Take Overwatch, for example. They stopped updating the game and adding new content to make Overwatch 2, didn't they? Which, again, seems utterly pointless when they could have had it all in updated version of number 1. So why aren't they doing it in number 1 Warzone? Because the gamers spend a lot of money on live services games like Warzone, Overwatch, Fortnite, but when they make the next entry into these games and progress does not carry over, or anything you bought, cosmetics, that doesn't carry over. So you buy the second one, you've got to buy all your cosmetics, all your add-ons, etc., all over again. So why don't they just add on from the first one? That's my point anyway, but I don't think
the reason they do it is because of the money. Because
exactly.
Doing an update doesn't sound as good as, hey, Warzone 2, same shit as the other one.
Yeah, but then they're making the gamers start from literally scratching their asses from the bottom, think, oh fuck, I've got to buy this again, I've got to buy that again, I've got to do this again. Why doesn't it carry over? If they're going to do a number 2, why don't they at least let the stuff carry over that you've bought, the cosmetics, the add-ons, carry it over into number 2, but slightly make it a little bit better? Say, look, you bought this, so you can have this at a slightly better version, sort of thing. If they're going to do it that way, don't start going around charging people.
Because my 12-year-old who plays that fucking game in this house will say, I need to get all this new stuff for Warzone 2. And me being the nice daddy will be like, okay, you can buy it. And that's why. And at least I know what the fuck Warzone is. And at least I can sort of argue with him. But most parents will be like, oh, okay, this is the next one. So here. And oh, it's free. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can blow $80, $100 on the new one. Fine, whatever. So yeah, that is exactly why they do it. So, yeah.
Sorry, that was my point on it.
Yeah.
No, that's good. It's a different angle. I like coming at things from different angles. But my thing, so you brought up Fortnite, so let's look at Fortnite. Yeah, it's come a long way since its inception. I've played it since the first day it came out, and it looks nothing like it does now. Not to mention, my gosh, I want a counter of like how many skins they've released on that game, because that's utterly impressive, and all the deals that they've had for those skins. That's a lot of work, and that takes a team, an art team, a sound team. They're really good at flushing out those updates on time. And you know what? The most impressive thing that Fortnite does is they release something and it works. Like, you look at Smite, when they release an update, like a mid-season update or whatever, they usually do 4 major updates a year, and with minor tweaks in between them. But very often, Smite will just break, and there's all kinds of bugs, this and that. Fortnite really doesn't have those or anything like that. So that's a pro I'm going to give to Fortnite. That's definitely one thing that they're just really good at farming out those updates, man.
You guys go ahead and talk about Fortnite, Smite, and Warzone as much as you want. I'm taking a nap. Go ahead. call me when you move on to the next topic. Go ahead.
Didn't I read when the first Warzone came out? When the first Warzone came out, didn't people have problems? They couldn't uninstall it or something on their consoles. I was hearing loads of stories about that. I don't know how true it is.
I never heard that one. Couldn't uninstall it.
Yeah, it's something to do with the I think it was one of the Call of Duty games. You have Warzone added on or something to it, and then for some reason, they uninstalled the original game, but then they couldn't uninstall Warzone. They wanted to get rid of it, and it just wouldn't uninstall for some reason.
Oh, I don't think it was exactly like that. I know what you're talking about now. it's not that it wouldn't let you like uninstall it from your system. It was because when you updated it, there was some glitch with I remember that update. Yeah, because Warzone has those issues as well. When they update their game, it comes out. There's a lot of bugs that come through. Yes, it is Crispy Bomb. But yeah, there's a lot of bugs that come through. And that one, I specifically remember that one. That was a pain in the butt. But it wasn't about completely uninstalling it from your hard drive. There was something. It was something like you had to uninstall it and reinstall it in the hope that it took. And like it was a problem with reinstalling it and adding the update to the game. It was weird, but a little different the way you explained. But my thing is Warzone 2, why have it? I got two reasons that I can come off of the top of my head. One of those is the graphical updates. Fortnite has had minor graphical updates over time. It does look better than when it first came out, no doubt. But I think you're going to see a much bigger leap in Warzone 2, kind of like the way we saw in the last Warzone, because that was quite a big graphical leap. I swear, there's one team in the Call of Duty, repertoire or whatever, Infinity Ward. They're like the only ones that push the envelope. I swear. The other ones just kind of cut, paste, like put their own skins on the game. All right, we're going back to the 1950s or 70s or whatever. All right, well, let's put this skin on. Let's put this overlay on the game, But I feel like it's the same game. They don't make that graphical leap unlike Infinity Ward does. And the second reason I say why have a Warzone 2 is just updating the engine. Fortnite's run on the same engine, which is why you're only seeing minor graphical updates. You're not seeing that really push forward. So those are the two I can think of off the top of my head. Can you think of any whys? I know you hate this topic. It's just, it's not for you or whatever. But can you think of any other reasons?
Honestly, to be honest with you, everything that you talked about is all fair, nice and well, upgrades and maybe a new engine and everything. But all of those things really could be just iterated on. I mean, there's really no reason to, do a whole hard, fast
to a certain
stop
extent, yeah. But like I said, this is the team that pushes the envelope. You're not going to be able to push the envelope in this forward unless you update the engine like Infinity Ward is doing.
Well, I'm hoping that if this is a true sequel, then they will go in and do something and do a total. I mean, okay, like let me rephrase this. So maybe taking aspects that work for Apex and the aspects that work for Fortnite, and maybe bringing those other concepts in instead of doing a battle royale with just one person against everybody. Maybe doing a 3-on-3 or something like that. Maybe something to switch it up. So in that way, maybe they can do something where they can have both running concurrently, where they have Warzone if you just want to play single versus single, and Warzone 2 when you want to do like mini groups or something like that. I'm hoping that is something to the effect, but I really believe that what I told Darren earlier was that because they just want a way of marketing it more effectively than just saying, hey, this is, season 2 or whatever they call it. This is a new game, which forces people to go in and, cash out or buy more stuff. So that's what I'm hoping, that they go in and change some of the mechanics in there. But I honestly believe that the real reason that they're doing it is because it's only financial gain. That's all. So
do you think that when Microsoft actually get the deal through, maybe Warzone would be better under different studios? Because Microsoft have organised them slightly differently, wouldn't they?
Well, what about this? What if they're just trying
tools?
What if they're just trying to make their financials look a little bit prettier when the eventual acquisition happens? Because Warzone is one of their okay, so their Call of Duty this year, their version of Call of Duty this year really sank a big one. It was like a lead weight. And for Activision, really the biggest cash cow right now in their repertoire right now as we speak is Warzone. So maybe they're just doing this just for maybe making their books look better. Maybe. What do you think?
Make it better look for the acquisitions, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, before they have the big change around.
Exactly. So they can like really capitalize on the amount of money they get for stock from Microsoft. You know, that's what I'm also thinking as well. There's a financial reason also to be said because if you think about it, go ahead.
When you say that, the EA thing definitely comes to mind, and also and the what is it, the Harry Potter game, right?
Yeah.
With WB, so because a studio from WB is making that game, right? The Harry Potter game. I can't remember it right now off the top of my head.
Wasn't it? Who was that company? Who was that developer?
I'll remember in a minute. But that's what it kind of screams to me. You know, you release this game and then you put yourself on the market. Thing is, this game they already kind of sold themselves and the deal's already done. So I wouldn't say that's a potential reason for this.
No, the deal is done.
It's Avalanche Software, the developer for Hogwarts.
I thought Avalanche was the one doing Contraband.
That's what I thought. The publisher's Warner Brothers, but the developer's Avalanche Software.
Maybe they got about two projects going on at the same time. No, you're right. That they have. Okay, Microsoft has already said an intent to buy, but they've not ironed out the finer details. That's why it's taking a year for everything to go through, because the actual stock for stock conversion has not been finalized yet. That doesn't really get finalized until the actual before the papers are drawn and they have to sign. And so I think that's what it is, because they're trying to get as much money for their stock. The shareholders are trying to get as much money for their stock as possible before Microsoft buys it. So that's one thing, because I really can't think anything right now in Activision's camp. Let's keep Blizzard aside, that is really making any money for them besides this game. Can y'all?
Nope.
Well, besides that, I saw a leak saying that there was going to be no classic maps on the new Modern Warfare, and that's kind of cool. They spun that in a negative way, and I'm like, that's actually a good thing. They're not recycling the maps right away at you. These are going to be all new maps. I think that's important, because like a lot of these games are getting away with just recycling old maps.
Yeah, because didn't they bring out the was it Newtown, wasn't it? They regenerated that for the last few Call of Duty games as well, and people were getting slightly bit peed off of that.
But are they going to make you buy those old maps again? That's the question. Like, I don't know.
Probably. Oh, shit. I'm going to say yes on that. But they usually, what Infinity Ward usually does is they usually package those older maps. They'll do like one or two with a couple new maps, so they'll kind of bundle them together and whatnot. But yeah, supposedly a lot of new mechanics coming to the Warzone 2. So if you ever play that game, I've heard about a lot of new mechanics coming and things that have never been done before. So it's not like they're taking proven, techniques that other battle royales have done. These are going to be all new techniques and all new.
I'm not too averse to battle royals in general, but I do like, for example, I do like Apex for the fact that it's 3 versus everybody, So like a single person running around and one versus the world has never been that appealing to me. I have sort of played like.
Well, every battle royale's got different modes. They got the single, they got the solo, they got duels, usually trios, and usually quads. Those are the ones you primarily see. With all the major ones, at least. Real quick, shout out to the chat. We got Jai907. KR, haven't seen you here, buddy. Welcome. Crispy Bomb, what is going on, buddy? And we will talk about this unsubgate probably next, as soon as I shout out this chat real quick. Crazy Greek dude, what's going on? He said, dang, it's past 4 already. I'm just leaving for work. Well, we hope you get home safe and turn on the show, buddy. John 907, Axel 1324 Gaming, and my buddy Doggy Dog. Doggy Dog, I think, was the first one here. And Eternal should die. Eternal should die. Welcome, buddy. All right, so let's talk about this unsub gate. So apparently this is a thing. Apparently people on Twitter. Oh, the loves of Twitter. I love
dear, oh dear.
Oh, God.
It's another.
What shit show happened today? Who's unsubbing from who now?
Oh, haven't you seen it?
I've been busy this week, so yeah.
Oh,
People unsubbing from Game Pass, and they have the, I guess, requirement to throw it out to the world. So, like, this is like a thing now. And I saw Luca tweet about it. So she's like, she straight up asked everyone, like, why do you guys feel the need? So you unsubbed. Why do you feel the need to kind of push it out there? And
to push out an agenda, that's all. Because news have been dry. So hey, how do you cause a shit show to start in Twitter again? Well, unsub from Game Pass and let the Sony fanboys take that and run with it and say everyone is deserting ship. Whereas people unsub and sub all the time from every subscription service that I know of. I mean, I know for a fact my friends, they unsub and sub all the time from Disney Plus, from Netflix, but it's not a big deal. I mean, the only reason people are saying it is because, hey, let's cause some fucking controversy. Okay. Everyone is shitting on Microsoft because of all the crap that went down for Starfield. Let's go ahead and, reignite that powder keg again. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. As I was going to say, where before Wise started, I woke up this morning, my phone was going ding ding ding. I thought, what the fuck is going on Twitter? And all of a sudden, this person, I've unsubbed from Game Pass. What are you going to do about it? I've unsubbed from Game Pass. I'm glad that I did. I've unsubbed. I thought, what the hell is going on today? It just happened today. And obviously, people are going back at it and saying, "Oh, Game Pass." Obviously, I've got Game Pass myself. I can't fault it. It gives me plenty of games to play, so I'm happy. But like, people are going back at them, and I thought, why go back at them? Just ignore them. Just ignore them. Just mute, block, and move on. Don't pay no attention. That's what they want. They're trying to get the attention. That's all they want, the attention. Oh, we'll say something about Xbox, as Wise was saying about the Starfield Redfall, because that's out, etc. And what was happening last week, let's make a bit more noise. Let's get a bit of commotion. And obviously, they're putting all this out all over Twitter, and people are going back at them time and time again. And it's just causing more and more aggro, because the more aggro you cause, you're going to get more people involved, because they're going to want to stick up for their friends. They're going to want to stick up for their gaming friends. And then it just carries on and on and on. And it just makes Xbox look a bit bad the way it's going about it at the moment.
Is this ever gonna like fade off? Because you're right, like someone will say something ridiculous on Twitter, and then and they're all haters of Xbox. It's unfortunate, like there's such a community of people that just bash on Xbox 100% of the time. They don't even game. They don't even turn on their system. There's no fucking way.
I disagree. I don't think that these are Xbox haters as much as there are people who just want to stir the pot. I don't think they have anything, vested either way. There's really no skin in the game for them. They just want to do something so that they get attention to themselves. Twitter is basically a whole. To envision Twitter, it's like a group of imagine a room filled with thousands of people, everyone shouting at the same time. How do you get everyone to focus on you? By shouting out fire, and basically that's what they do. So yeah.
It was literally every time my phone went off, it was that.
Eternal Shy says this is just going to be a temporary thing, because as soon as Activision deal goes through, they're going to come back. He says they're frauds. What do you guys think about that?
Well, of course they will. They'll just come straight back as soon as the Activision deal and whatever deal Microsoft does in between, or whatever games they're going to come out with. They're just, we'll go back, and then everything will be rosy. Oh, Game Pass is great. The same people that's been all over.
They're not going to announce that they sub back again. They're not going to announce that. That's the problem.
No, they won't.
That's the
it's like they re-sub the Game Pass.
They won't announce it, but they'll be all over Game Pass. The people that say, "Oh, I've unsubbed," they'll be over Game Pass. Oh yeah, I've subbed. Oh yeah, I've been playing this game on Game Pass. Oh, everything will be rosy. They won't say, oh, it was me that unsubbed, blah, blah, blah. They'd be praising it to the hell. Oh, Xbox this. Oh, Phil Spencer this. Oh, I love Phil Spencer. Oh, I love Matt. But they'd be praising Xbox galore. You watch.
Well, if you
The
want to
same
stir
people.
if you want to stir the pot some more, you could say something to this effect. At least this developer or this publisher has something for me to unsub from. The other camp doesn't even have any goddamn thing to sub from.
Remasters and remakes and paint.
Oh, talking about remakes, you know they're doing a Gears of War one, didn't you? Marcus Phoenix collection. That's coming.
It's not a remake. It's basically they're just packaging all 3 games into one. They're not doing anything.
I don't think they're doing the first one though. I think it's Gears of War 2, 3, and possibly Judgment. I think that's what they're doing, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Rumors are it could be 1, 2, and 3, or 2, 3, and Judgment. They're not too sure at the moment.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like it was for the Master Chief Collection where they actually did a remake. This is just going to be a repackaging, if you will. Of those games.
I did hear they was going to do a Master Chief sort of style collection. That's what the rumor was.
No, that's what the rumor was. But when it came out, it was basically the people who are the insiders have said that it's not going to be a remake. It's just going to be a repackaging, if you will. Because to be honest with you, like if you look at like, okay, 2, 3, and 4, honestly, it doesn't look that bad, comparatively speaking. I mean, it held its own for a while. I mean, would I like a remake? Hell yeah. But do you really need to invest all that manpower to really build it up from the ground up again? I mean,
yeah, I do agree with you, Crispy. They don't need to do a Judgment, but you don't want to hear the rumor I heard the other day. People Can Fly might be doing it, not the Coalition.
Oh,
Coalition are sort of helping, apparently, because they're supposed to be doing 2 or 3 projects. They're sort of helping with this Phoenix collection, but rumors are People Can Fly are supposed to be doing it. I don't know. That's the latest rumor. It's only a rumor, but
well, to be honest with you, from the inside, this is like really the only thing that everyone is saying that they have for this Christmas. And yeah, they're trying to get it out as fast as possible. Otherwise, Microsoft is going to be in that same position for this holiday season that Sony was for last holiday season. So
that's what I wanted to talk about too, because John 907 says it's ridiculous. Pony's going to be subscribing when Starfield and Russia games from the studio starts dropping. So my thing is, have we thought about the fact that, all right, so we're delaying Starfield. That's just basically crunching everything that's on the pipeline together. Right? Because Starfield's going to release at some point. Redfall's going to release at some point. We know they had games planned for the release of next year, so maybe next year. And I think that this is actually viable because when they said 4 AAA games a year, 1 a quarter, I'm like, man, we just acquired all these studios. That's going to be hard to get right now, especially without this Activision deal not going through and being slow, and with the with the lawsuit and whatnot. They're looking into that.
I would tread slightly on that because from what I was hearing last year, this year was supposed to be the next golden year of gaming with all these games coming out.
Oh, not that again.
Yeah, so I don't know. It right now for all 3 companies, not just Microsoft, it comes out when it comes out. That's how I feel. You know, it's just
when you say the golden year of gaming, like gaming is still growing. So literally every year is going to be better than the last until it starts to decline. And there is no signs of the gaming industry declining.
Yeah, but most of the games that are coming out now is basically, your games as a service or your another battle royale or something like that. The games I think we as hardcore gamers play, those have been put on the back burner for the longest time, and we're just sitting here waiting, and they're literally just drip feeding us on this stuff. And I'm not just talking about Microsoft. I'm talking about Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, because Sony didn't really have anything last year. I know Horizon was supposed to come out Christmas or holiday of last year. It got pushed to the beginning part of this year, and it came out. It's been crickets in Sony's stable for a while, and the only real thing we got for Sony coming out is the next God of War, which we're hoping is going to happen this year. And with Nintendo, we were expecting like this golden year of gaming with Metroid 4 and Breath of the Wild and all the other good shit that they have down there. And those have been like, they've not said anything either. What I'm worried about is like the lack of just communication. It's been really quiet and nobody's saying anything. And if these games are supposed to be coming out in the latter half of this year, somebody better start talking. Otherwise, I just feel that this year is going to be basically a pass up year, you know? And that's what I hate. People, all these insiders keep telling us, oh, next year is going to be phenomenal. And then next year comes and goes and you're like, well, shit, it wasn't that phenomenal. And then they're like, oh, no. Next year after that.
You should have known that these delays were going to happen. Like literally every game is being delayed at least 6 months and most over a year.
Yeah.
So I think that people just got to take that into account, because until the game companies do what I want them to do, which is if they give us a date range like summer 2023 or whatever, hey, you can delay that a little bit. But if you give a certain date, you better not delay that. Go ahead, Aaron.
To save all the arguments, like Starfield was given a definite date. Well, Redfall wasn't. We only had the CGI trailer a year or two ago and nothing more since. But with Starfield's date, 11/11/22, don't you think maybe they've set themselves up for a bit of a fall? Because if something went wrong, which it did, they're looking like with eggs on their faces. Why not have a placeholder date? Because the computer game shop I go to, when I say to them, is this game coming out? No, that's a placeholder date. We haven't got a definite date. Just give a rough date, like, winter 2023 or summer 2024. That's it. A rough placeholder date. That's it. You don't have to give it a definite date. Just say summer, like you've just said, summer 2023 or winter 2024. That way, if something does go wrong in between or before, they can say, look, hold on a minute, something's gone wrong. It's going to be delayed by another month or two, and that's it. Do it that way. Then there's not too many arguments, is there? But do not give a definite date.
They need to give themselves more room for error too.
Yeah, because they're just setting themselves up for a fall. You know what I mean? Look at the flack after what happened with Starfield and that came out. Well, as soon as that happened, my Twitter was going absolutely berserk. Of course, it was the other side, shall we say, digging at them, and everyone was going at it. So put a placeholder date in it, just a placeholder, not definite dates.
The thing that upsets me about, especially when this whole news came down with the delay of Starfield, with people saying, "Oh, there's nothing to play, nothing." What do people do for their livelihood? Like, okay, yeah, if I was sitting at home and the only thing I did was playing games, maybe I could understand. But like, I got multiple jobs outside of playing games. What are people doing that are running through that? They're making them run through these games so fast that now they're sitting back and complaining that I got nothing to play anymore. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, dude, you know,
I wish I had time for that.
Amen. You know, it's like, I mean, I have no problems with a delayed game, but you know, what the fuck? What are you doing that you're saying you don't have nothing to play? I mean, you literally have gone through all of these games. Like, shit, I'm playing Horizon right now. I've been playing Horizon for the past fucking month. I've got 150 hours in it, and I'm nowhere near finishing it.
I've just got a PS5. I'm hoping to play that on my PS5. So yeah. I'm not even a quarter way through that game yet.
I mean, I think people bitch and complain because they just want something to bitch and complain about. You know, it's like, what the fuck, man? Get a life.
I think Microsoft's going to redeem themselves. I really do, because I think Gotham Knights is going to be dropping in the Game Pass after the show. They're going to announce that because they have to have some sort of recompense, don't they, to compensate. All right, to some people that's not going to be a good alternative, is it? But you know, I mean, a AAA game dropping into the Game Pass, you know, that's good enough. I would have thought.
I want to see the Harry Potter go in there. That's what I want to see, because there's already some kind of negative connotation behind the game you were just talking about.
And but doesn't Harry Potter have some sort of licensing with Sony though?
I think so.
Yeah, because didn't Sony have something sort of like marketing rights, and it came out, you know, that it was only going to be on their system, and someone had to quickly take it down and wipe it. Basically saying, no, it's coming on Xbox as well.
I swear, 30% of the games PlayStation does that. Oh, this is only on PlayStation. It's only on PlayStation.
But honestly, I think they do actually have a deal, though. Like something, I'm not saying that this is
there is a marketing deal. Yeah, it's a marketing deal, but we don't know the the ins and outs of that deal, and I don't think that. Well, at least I hope that they say within that marketing deal you can't go to Game Pass. I think that would be kind of a little bit different than the marketing deal that they signed. I could be wrong, but I sure would like to know that one.
I personally think I was listening to our dear friend Noof on his impromptu show the other day. I've been listening to thinking about it the last few days and think, wow, what he said could actually happen. What if at the show next month they say, here's Hellblade 2 coming November, December? Just imagine what a pull that would be. It would be for me because I've played and finished the first one. It's fantastic, but I don't think it will. But oh my god, would that be a hit? I think it would. It'd literally rock it if it was announced.
Speaking of another hit, next topic. Darren Reedus shown taking pictures and such. Hideo, we got Death Stranding 2. Is it coming out? When is it coming out? What do you guys think?
Oh, I hope so, because I'm halfway through the first one on my PS4 and I love it. Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a
you love it, really. Noof said he liked it too. Everything really? I screams like I would hate that game. And you know what? I love simulators, but what I don't like are walking simulators. And you know what I don't like? Working for the post office, and that game sure
or Amazon. Oh, dude. No, but they need to go back if they do a sequel. I think. Okay, so the lore that they had established was pretty cool, right? And there were snippets of when there was actual gameplay where you were fighting those. What do they call those little bastards in black? Those little creatures that live with the mud all over. What do they call them?
Can't remember now.
Oh yeah, that crap was fun.
Motherfuckers playing the game and can't remember what they're called.
But they need to minimize. Okay, yeah, fine, keep the little Amazon simulator thing if you want, but try to minimize all that. Try to actually make a game. Now the new one that they did, they did that upgraded version, like the where they did a little bit of a Metal Gear Solid where you had to sneak in. I think they need to go back and change the gameplay loop a little bit. They need to put a little more action in it. So I hope he goes back and looks at the feedback he got, which I know Hideo Kojima is not big on looking at feedback because, he's an artiste, but I wish he would go back and change it up some. I mean, I could care less what platform it's on. Most likely it'll be a Sony platform, but yeah, they need to go back and sort of fix some of that boring stuff. Yeah.
Darren, what do you like about that game?
It is so calm and relaxing. It's just like, yeah, all right. I know a lot of people don't like Hideo for his cutscenes. I think the cutscene bits could be shortened a bit more onto the storyline. Not so much of them in his games, but it's just the way he portrays the characters and the way he does the stories and the actions and how much it's the way he thinks, the way he works. It's like, this is fantastic. It's his mind working overtime. All right, some people call him crazy, but I just love it. It's just so calm, relaxing. It's not stressful, but that's just me. I love it. Absolutely think it's brilliant. But you can definitely see Hideo's mind working in the game. You can see how he thinks. That's why I think Silent Hill should be done by him personally. His mind would be fantastic for that.
Whoa. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you actually enjoy figuring out how to transport stacked boxes?
Not so much that. It's just peaceful. It's relaxing, isn't it? Just walking around. It's like you're not stressed. You don't have to run everywhere.
I got a solution for you. If you're moving, you didn't need to get Darren to help you because that fucking relaxes him.
Yeah, Darren, I got a lot of boxes over here. Fly you out and get you simulating.
Exactly. Do it for his anxiety issues. Say, I'm not going to pay you because this is actually medicine for you. I'm helping you treat your anxiety. Yeah, shit. No. But obviously they're going to come out with another one. I mean, the most impressive thing about Death Stranding was not Death Stranding. It was Hideo's ability to create a development company make a game and release it within 3 freaking years, and it'd be pretty good, like no free from any bugs and stuff like that. That was fucking impressive to me. Like, you got companies here that can't do it in 5, and here you got a guy who went from basically paperwork all the way to actually releasing a game in 3. That was impressive, so.
Well, I would imagine there's some type of room for error too with that game. Like, they had to be on some type of psychedelic drug. So they're like, well, what do we do right here? Well, let's just drop some acid and fucking find out. Let's put it. Oh, that was really fucked up. Let's put it in the game. No, but Darren, I've seen a lot of videos on Death Stranding, and the videos I saw did not look therapeutic. So the video, let me explain the one I'm thinking of right now. It was a video of him. He's got a bunch of boxes on his fucking back, right? And he's like crossing this stream, and he gets across the stream, and he's doing his balancing act, and he gets to the land or whatever, and he like trips on like an imaginary rock, and he's stumbling, he's bumbling, and everything goes fucking crash. All his boxes go into the river, right? What is therapeutic about that?
Oh, that don't stress me out. You just pick the boxes back up and off you go. But the problem is, if you keep dropping the boxes off the back, they get damaged and you don't get credits enough for them. Oh, and plus you lose them if you're going across the sea and you don't steady yourself.
The game seemed more like the game seemed more to me like a name drop by Hideo Kojima, basically showing everybody who he knows, than actually a game. Hey, look, I know Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley's in the game. Hey, I know, was that Guillermo del Toro? He's in the game. I know Norman Reedus. He's in the game. It was like, it just seemed like a basic, like, lip service to everybody in Hollywood and around that. So, like, next time when he wants to make a movie, it's a little bit easier for him or something. It just seemed kind of, I don't know, there was a whole lot of stuff that was like, why did you even do this? What is the point? Like the whole Monster Energy drink. What is the point? What was the point of getting and paying a licensing to Monster to put their drinks in the game when it didn't do diddly squat? Why have Jeff Keighley in there? I mean, I know he's your friend and all, but like, it just seemed like a whole lot of irrelevant bullshit. It's just like, I don't know. It just seemed like it seemed like a kiss up situation. Like, it was like kissing ass or something, That's just me though.
Darren, I liked it when you said that you could see like the way Kojima thinks, through the game. Can you go into any detail about that?
It's his mind, the way the characters moving and how you would like react to, because he carries this baby sort of thing. I think that's a bit freaky myself, with the way he's carrying the baby on his chest or whatever. But it's the way he acts with the baby. How would a man act with if he hasn't seen a baby or ever held a baby before? That sort of thing. And the creatures and the enemies, etc. How they run about, how they would react in certain situations. He's got a very vivid imagination. Because I like Metal Gear Solid as well. That was good, but that could have done with less cutscenes. Half of them.
I think Hideo Kojima is full of shit, and for you to insinuate that, I think you're full of shit too. So come on. I mean, it's like, I see how he thinks by the way he stacks boxes. Come on, this is I don't know. It just
he's talking about the baby. We can't pick on Darren too much for liking this game.
You can. I sure as hell can, and I won't stop myself from doing so.
Hey, people pick on the game that I like every single day. All right, there's not a day that goes fucking by. Hear some shit talk about Smite.
Oh God, I got one guy on the panel who likes Smite and another guy who likes Death Stranding because of Hideo Kojima's vision. Oh my God. Oh, screw me. Fuck me, honestly. Screw me.
All right, well, what game do you like, Wise? When me and Darren got to make fun of it.
I like them. I like every game for what it is, but I'm not going to sit here and say like,
it's like one game, man, so we can make.
I like Super Mario Brothers. Try those. Try that on for size. Complain about that.
Super Mario. I haven't played none of those.
You probably play that shit with the Labo, don't you? You probably got your fucking wrench Labo and your fucking pipe Labo.
I actually got a new controller where I've connected the A button and the B button to a fleshlight. So when I want to jump, I have to screw the right fleshlight. And if I want to run, I got to screw the other one and stuff. If I have to shoot a fireball, I got to screw the other fleshlight. But who's talking? So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wise to throw it off the rails.
Yeah, well, you ask me, you opened these can of worms, so there you go. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just okay. Like, how can you sit here?
Fleshlight label. You've heard it here.
How can you sit here with a straight face and say that this game shows you Hideo Kojima's vision? What about him stacking boxes is so visionary about this guy? I really don't get it.
Not so much stacking the boxes. It's the world and the enemies and what you're doing in between. Not stacking the boxes. Anyone can stack a box. I did that for 20 years myself. So I don't need to pay attention to that crap.
Whoa! You stacked boxes for what 20 years of your life, and you go home and when you want to relax at night, you want to stack more freaking boxes. What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
I'm telling you, Darren, my garage is full of them. You can fucking stack them,
dude. I mean, I think we need an intervention here, man. We need
it's like I'm not being funny. I did like shelf stacking, like picking boxes up and putting them on the shelves for 20 years. Sometimes I even go into a supermarket, and if something's out of place, I'll put it back in place. It's not my job, but I will actually walk past the item and put it back.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I've got a bit of an OCD about that.
A little bit? No.
Even my missus turns around. My missus turns around and says, leave it.
Garage is a mess. I'm going to send you
even tells me to stop it.
Get your OCD going.
My missus gets embarrassed when I start touching things on the shelf and putting it. She goes, no, leave it. You don't work here. Leave it. Walk away.
Yeah, the missus wants you to stop touching the boxes and touch her instead. Jeez, she's the one that wants to be stacked, not the boxes. Jeez. Oh my God, this is.
We got one more smaller topic before we get into the main topic of tonight. The last smaller topic is going to be Bungie CEO says studio won't be muzzled by Sony following acquisition. It's kind of weird that they got to come out and say these kind of things. You know what I mean? Just things that you believe and they're not going to be muzzled. Like, is this already kind of shouting turmoil before the acquisition even goes through? You know what I mean? There's all kinds of ways we can look at this topic.
The way I look at this whole purchase by Sony of Bungie, it's like, you see this girl, she doesn't really go out with you. She still wants to date other guys, but you just want her to be considered your girlfriend. So she's like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck you only. I'm going to fuck everybody else too, whoever else I want to fuck. But yeah, you can officially say that I'm your girlfriend if that makes you happy. And that's what it sounds like. It's like, basically a relationship in name only. It's not like she's not dating other people, but yeah, if it makes you sleep better at night to call her your girlfriend, go for it. That's what it seems like to me. I'm sorry to say this is true, but it's like they came out when they first got bought. Oh, we're not going to only make Sony exclusives. We're going to make our games on every platform. And now this bullshit. Oh yeah, we're not going to take anything that Sony tells us to do lying down. We're going to say what the fuck we want to say. It just seems like, it just seems like a weird relationship here. Sony's like, here, can you marry me? And they're like, okay, we'll take the ring, but I'm still going to date other guys.
Impressive.
This is a trip. At least whoever Microsoft buys, at least they become a part of their harem. They don't date anybody, they don't fuck anybody else. They're exclusively Microsoft's. So that's a trip. So hello.
Tonight's gaming and dating brought to you by Wise Old Gamer.
I mean, doesn't it sound like that to you? Like
topic into dating.
Doesn't it sound like it to you? Yeah, they're in a relationship in name only. They came out the day they got bought. The first thing Bungie said was, we're still going to make games on every platform. And then this stuff, then how are you guys in any sort of, what type of relationship is this? You're not making any games exclusive for this company, nor are you going to be beholden to what the company wants you to do. Then what type of relationship, what are y'all doing? It's like, I don't get it.
I like them. I like the way Bungie's handling this, man. What about you, Darren? They are not taking. They aren't taking any shit. They're the fucking alpha dogs.
I'm like, why what is this relationship? Because I know they bought them. Well, usually if you buy a gaming company like Bungie or whatever, that's it. You work for them. You don't release any games for anyone else. But they are allowed to release games on their other platforms. So does that mean they're going to go Microsoft, Nintendo on the PC, etc.? But maybe Sony thinks they're going to. Well, obviously they're going to get a profit from those games. But I always thought if it's all exclusive if you buy a company, and then to come out with something, oh, you've got to say this, and it's just basically being back at school. You must say this, you must say that. You can't do nothing else. You do as we say, not as we do, sort of thing. Don't that sound along those sort of lines?
But they said they're not going to be beholden. They're going to do what the fuck they want to do, whether Sony likes it or not. That's pretty much what they said.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In certain terms, you know.
It seems I don't know where the messaging is coming from. Sony, is it coming from Jim or someone higher than say, "Oh, you've got to do this"? But now Bungie's come out and said, "We're going to do the whatever we want. If we want to fucking drink beer in the fucking studio, have orgies and fucking gangbangs in the studio while we're making the fucking games for you, let's go for it." You know what I mean? Fuck you. We'll do what we want. That's basically the attitude. But then it comes down to what the fuck is this relationship between them?
My point exactly.
It's just basically sticking the fucking two middle finger salute, Stone Cold Steve Austin style. Fuck you, basically, isn't it? That's all it is. So I can't see anything gathered by this.
So if you bought a company and they were bringing you in money, but they were giving you the bird at the same time, would you care?
It depends how much money they're giving you, right? Like if Bungie is going to do what Sony believes, then so be it. I mean, like I honestly feel, to be honest with you, that the only reason they got bought was because I think Bungie had and this is just hearsay. This is from I have no knowledge of this. I'm just speculating here. I believe Bungie had a stronger relationship with Microsoft than they did with Sony anyways, because, you know, as we know, Phil loves his Destiny 2, and we've seen him on Xbox Live playing it. And I really believe that the only reason that Sony bought them was so that Microsoft didn't buy them first and make all of their games exclusive to Microsoft's platform. And yeah, and then they're like, okay, what would it take for us to buy you? Well, we want to date who we want. We want to say what the fuck we want to say. We want to do what the fuck we want to do. And they're like, okay. So we can still say we own you. Well, you can say what the fuck you want to say, but, you know, we'll still do what the hell we want to do. Okay, deal. We'll take it.
Dude, I wonder why this is the reason Microsoft never acquired them again.
You know, I heard Microsoft didn't get them because Bungie wanted to remain independent, sort of thing. You know, release games on other platforms. And Microsoft, rumors and hearsay, said no. You, if we buy you, you work for us, no one else. That's it. But from what I heard, Bungie said, "Nah, see you later."
But do you blame them? Because after that, who owned Bungie before that they had a hard time getting out of that contract with? Was it EA or was it Activision? Do y'all remember? Or is it?
I think it was Activision with Bungie, wasn't it?
It was a huge shit show, wasn't it? When they released Destiny under their banner, and they were like,
Activision.
Yeah. And so once they got out of that contract, Bungie was like, "Look, we're good. We got what all you guys can give us is financial security." Well, thanks to Destiny 2 and our pedigree, we got financial security. We don't need your financial security. So you don't want to get freedom just to be tethered again. So I can't blame Bungie. And Microsoft has an agenda. They're like, okay, we want to grow Game Pass. Well, if Bungie is going to make it for all platforms and they're good with the finances, then why buy them? You know? So yeah. So if all the companies that Microsoft has bought up to now have had some sort of financial issues going awry, be it Bethesda, be it Activision, be it any of the other developers that they've bought. So Bungie was not somebody Microsoft would take the helm of because they didn't need Microsoft. And I think Sony just wanted it for the optics that we bought Bungie. So that's it.
Yeah, and also to get a slice of the profits of their games going on to other platforms, i.e. like Microsoft will with the Call of Duty games going on to PlayStation. They get a slice of the profits there as well. So that's what I think PlayStation was thinking about.
But I actually even think that you say with Activision, I bet that even with Activision's purchase with Microsoft, I guarantee you there'll be Activision games or games made by that by that company that are exclusively Microsoft. I wouldn't be too surprised if Warzone would be on all platforms, but the next mainline Call of Duty, at least the single player campaign, will be a Microsoft exclusive. Whereas Bungie has gone on record to say, no, all of our IPs that we will release from here on out will be multi-platform. And they've made it a point to say that.
Yeah, that's why I can't understand what this relationship actually is.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. So,
all right, I think we can all agree. Yeah, this doesn't look good. Just starting off the bat, as they're even getting this relationship going, we're going to call it a relationship because Wise makes everything into a relationship. So,
hey,
when you start dating a girl and she's already talking shit and she already doesn't want to do any, she wants to do her own thing. That reminds me of like that kind of like makes me think of like a cheating girlfriend or something, like a girl that wants to do what she wants and go where she wants and not have to, no responsibilities, not tell you where she's going. That's what that kind of reminds me of.
Yeah. It is what it is. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, but I'll go for it.
Real quick shout out to the chat before we get on to the big topic of the night. Born Distracted, what's going on, buddy? We got Doggy Dog still with us. Tony Grasso. Eternal Shaddai still with us. Talos Ray, welcome, buddy. And Crispy Bomb still with us. The Don Mega, what's going on, bro? Yeah, I really thought you would have some bushcraft videos out by now, Don. He does these like nature videos and things like that and whatnot, and like kind of peaceful videos or whatever. But
hey, Titan, go ahead. I got
time, mug. What's up?
Go ahead. I got to turn down the AC. It's pretty hot in here. I'll be back in a sec.
All righty, Roo. And after drawing TJ, we got Magoneds are itchy. So he changed from calling him something different each week, I guess. All right, so the major topic of the week, the EA merger. EA is reportedly seeking a sale or a merger of some type. So Electronic Arts, popular for all the sports, the Madden, the FIFA, the NBA Live, UFC, and they even did Fight Night, which they need to bring back. But anyways, before we get into what they need to do and what they do not need to do, because I think this EA acquisition by whoever acquires them, this is not going to be an easy task. This is going to be like the house you buy that needs a lot of fixing up. Because in my opinion, EA, they can put out some good games, but they got really bad publicity. People hate EA, and for a lot of the right reasons, in my opinion. Darren, which way do you lean towards EA? And
me and Wise was talking earlier about like facts and figures. Their market cap's 37 billion, unless I'm much mistaken. So Sony's got 114 billion, right? Microsoft's 2 trillion. I don't think Microsoft to be looking at purchasing, and to be honest, not with this Activision deal. Another one is Tencent with 430 billion. 9 billion is Embracer, so you can more or less count them out. 13 billion is Take-Two. These are hearsay figures, I think. 3 trillion is Apple. Now, that's a dark horse for the purchase of EA, definitely. 54 billion is Nintendo. I don't think so. 1 trillion is Amazon. That's another little dark horse. Or you got Google, 1.4 trillion. But I think Google's had their hands burnt with Stadia. So I think the one that's been rumored for the last 2 or 3 years wanting to get into the console world is Apple at 3 trillion. I think Apple could be actually thinking about making a move into the console market, and what a bit of a coup that would be, getting EA. I know they got problems. I know they, a lot of their games are, let's say poo-poo. But I think Apple could be the dark horse there. Apple or Tencent. I think they're the ones. I don't think Microsoft will want to chance anything with with this deal going through FTC and that at the moment. They won't want to raise any stakes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't see
So do you
Sony
think
buying them.
would you agree taking on EA would be like a huge task to undertake?
It would be. They'd have to restructure the company, wouldn't they? Work out where money's going missing. Now they're losing, and they've lost that FIFA license for the football now, haven't they? So that's going to be made by another company now. So they've lost money there. So they're going to have to try and restructure the company and work out where the problems basically lie. Is it from the bottom up or from the top down?
Are you a big FIFA fan?
No, I haven't touched FIFA since I think it's FIFA 13, 14. I think the last one I touched. I don't mind
Why?
playing the occasional basketball game, but
Why did you not go back to the FIFA? Because you're a huge.
uh, I tried doing this Ultimate Team thing, and I
Mhm.
spent like
Mm.
three to £400 on it, and I got absolute fuck all back from it. And I thought, never ever again. Laters, I didn't touch it again.
Yeah, that the Ultimate Team thing is a definitely no go with every game they come out with. That I hate that. That it's big in Madden. I love Madden is the number one game I play from EA. And luckily, the last one, Madden 22, just got put into Game Pass. So I like this deal with Game Pass that they got going on. But yeah, that Madden Ultimate Team, holy smokes, that is one sly way to make a ton of money.
Because they're not guaranteeing you to get the best football players or the best hockey players or the best American football team players, are they? Basically, you've got to try and keep spending money to see if you can get the best players that you want.
So who do you want to purchase EA? Because you guys play the sports games, but I more like I prefer the games like Fallen Order and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that if the right company buys them, that we would get more of that type of game as opposed to all of that other BS where you're basically milking your fans for every dry penny that they have. So
I, I was just saying to Titan, we was talking earlier, wasn't we, Wise, about facts and figures and who could be possibly into it. I think Apple is Apple or Tencent. I would say Apple because they've been rumored to be working on a console for the last 2 or 3 years in design, basically rumors and hearsay. But I know for a fact they've been wanting to get into the console market. So would EA be a proposition for them and say that come aboard?
I think like we were talking about this, right, Titan? I don't know if you looked at the DMs that I sent. I listed out all of the market caps, and I think EA's market cap was what, like 37 billion. Do you
Yeah.
remember? And it was like, okay, so your Embracer Group and your Take Two is sort of not going to be in the running because I think Embracer's market cap was 9 billion, and Take Two was like 13 billion. And that really only leaves your primary players like your Sony, your Tencent, your Microsoft, and you got the wild card. Like Apple is one and Amazon is another. They got that Luna thing going out, and as we know, content is king. Luna does not have any content yet. And Apple, if they want to make any inroads into their gaming division, which they do have Game Center, but it's basically DOA because there's no games. So EA would definitely go a long way into getting what they need. And Apple definitely has a market cap. I think of all the companies that we listed, even above Microsoft, Apple has the largest market cap. I think it was like $3 trillion,
Yeah.
So it would be nice. I don't think I want Microsoft to buy them because, as I said in the DM, they have not. I'm tired of Microsoft buying companies and not doing shit with them. Yeah, the games are coming. The games are coming. Blah blah blah. Spank me a new one, basically. But I mean, it's like you've not shown that you can do anything with these fucking companies. You got all this shit underneath your repertoire, and you're just collecting shit. It seems like it's like an episode from that show on TLC, the hoarders. You go to the motherfucker's house and they got all this shit everywhere. Basically that's what it seems like Microsoft's development house looks like. It's just all these bunch of developers just sitting there and wanking themselves or something. So yeah, I mean, I don't want Microsoft to buy them, and I don't think they will because even if even if they wait until 2 years post to buy them, or say show intent to buy, it shows it throws a really huge red flag into the FTC, saying that, hey, wait a minute, you've bought one major publisher in the names of Activision. Now you're buying the other major publisher. I just don't think that this is a battle that Microsoft wants to engage in. And I definitely sure as hell don't want Tencent to do it, because Tencent is just going to give you more of the same. It's basically EA rebranded, you know? So yeah, I mean, I would love like Sony to do them. I would love Apple to do it. I would love either of those companies to do it. And I wish Apple does, because let's be honest, what I'm about to say is going to piss people off. I really think we need somebody like an Apple to get in here to sort of, get things going right now, because it's just become kumbaya with the three companies that we do have, So yeah.
I think so. I think some of the trouble with the studios of Microsoft, what they've done is down to Matt Booty. They need to give someone to help Matt Booty, because he can't control and go around all those studios. He just can't. That's my view on it anyway. But yeah, definitely Apple. Apple's got to come into that market. We do need some more competition. Definitely.
Well, Matt Booty wasn't able to run the companies that they had before even Bethesda. Matt Booty had all those other developers before they bought Bethesda. Matt Booty wasn't able to run. Every time I see Booty, he just looks like somebody who, he just, again, seems like a kiss ass. He just doesn't seem like he's really effective in his job. I really think that they need somebody a little bit more aggressive, somebody to go in and say, what the fuck are you guys doing? We need product. We didn't buy you a nice.
We seem a little easygoing.
Like all they've shown are fucking offices.
Going is the attitude you need.
You know what, Wise? You brought up a good point there. Like when you say, "Oh yeah, you've got all these studios. What you doing? What you doing with the games? Where's the games? Where's the games?" When I mention things like that, I do half get some shit. Honestly, I get some fucking really bad mess thrown at me. Why did I say something? I mean, I've got the same view. You got all these studios. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing with them? What you showing? You're showing nothing. You're showing games that are about 4 or 5 years out. But when I mention something like that, I'll get shit thrown at me left, right, and centre. So I don't bother anymore. Especially when I see it all over Twitter. I think, no, I'm not getting involved in this one. I'm staying out of it.
I mean, you look at fucking Rare. Rare was firing on all cylinders under Nintendo, and now they're like they fucking make a game that they don't even know what the fucking game is about. What the hell? How do you do that? How do
Ain't they doing Perfect Dark? Is it perfect? Them doing
no,
Perfect
they're
Dark?
not. They're doing the initiative is doing.
Oh, right. Dark. Okay, yeah.
They released that Everwild shit. That shit blows my fucking mind. How do you do that? How do you sit and invest money in this shit and you don't know what the fuck it is? That's when I go when I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Are y'all smoking
exactly?
Shit?
It's almost the same thing they did with Sea of Thieves, but like Sea of Thieves kind of has a natural progression to it, right? They're pirates. It's like, give them the tools to work with as pirates. This Everwild, it's like, where do you go with this? All right, so we got another world to work with. It's another sandbox where we're gonna do who knows what, but there's no natural progression to this, like pirates have. They're talking about like dancing around fires and stuff. Like, what's fun about that? Yeah, they got some problems with that game. But as far as the EA acquisition, it says, I'm reading this article. It says EA is actively and persistently looking for a buyer or another company willing to merge with it. They apparently spoke with a number of potential buyers or partners, and that's important, buyers or partners. And those were including Disney, Apple, and Amazon. So they're like actively searching out those three. They said it was unclear which were interested in fully purchasing EA and which were looking to merge. So that tells me, some of these companies are maybe willing to do it, to purchase them. Some are looking for like a deal or something, some type of whatever. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, kind of like what Microsoft is already doing. And that's the reason why I don't want Microsoft to acquire them, for two main reasons. One, whoever acquires this company has quite an undertaking ahead of them. And number two, they already have EA games going into Game Pass, so they already have like a deal with EA. EA is either looking for more deals like that, maybe throw their games into some other service.
So do
It's
you
just
think they're looking for a
Microsoft
deal
just
kind of
doesn't
like
need them.
But do you think do you think EA is looking for a game a deal kind of like what Bungie has, where basically, yeah, they're purchased in name only, but they still can do what the fuck they want to do? Is that what you're saying?
Not exactly. It's like either acquire, like they want to be acquired by someone. And one of the big things that they said was they want Andrew Wilson to remain chief executive of the combined company. So no matter where it goes, it's going to have the same chief executive, Andrew Wilson.
Weren't you at Sony?
Andrew Wilson?
Yeah.
Andrew Wilson, that's the name.
I think
on
you're
the
thinking Andrew House. Andrew
Oh,
House.
yeah.
No, that wasn't
EA
Wilson.
is seeking a deal that would allow Andrew Wilson to remain chief executive of the combined company.
So yeah, basically they're looking for a Bungie type deal where they basically keep everything the way it is. They just have somebody with a money back pockets. Basically, they basically are looking for a sugar daddy. Basically, yeah.
Apparently, the Microsoft sugar daddy money wasn't enough by throwing, because my God, how big was that paycheck to bring the games into Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
That had to be a huge, huge deal. And that's kind of why I say they're off the table for Microsoft. They've already got the Microsoft money. Now they're looking for someone else to basically do the same thing with. And if this guy is going to be, if Andrew Wilson is going to be running the company the way he has been, oh my God.
Well, that pretty much gets rid of Apple, because Apple, whoever they buy, they pretty much tell them, "Hey, you're part of us now. You do what we tell you to do." Apple just has that type of weight. And really, the only one that like in recent history that offered that deal was Sony. And I don't know if they're going to be a sugar daddy to two people. You know, they already got one person that they're caking. I don't know if they're going to cake another. You know, so that's the thing.
So I was wondering, whatever company takes over from EA, would that Game Pass deal with Microsoft end and go exclusive to another console or whoever owns it? Would that mean the end of that deal? Possibly.
It depends on the contract, right? It depends on what they have stipulated, right? Yeah.
So whoever takes, say, if Apple, like you said, Apple were pretty strict. So say, like, if Apple bought them, say, right, your contract with Microsoft, shut it out the door. No good. We'll pay the rest off, and you can come to us and stay.
Well, you know, you were saying that this is.
I don't see Apple doing that though. Like Apple, like everyone else that's supposedly joining the gaming industry, right? We got Apple, we got Amazon Luna, we got freaking, what was the other failed one that was
Google Stadia.
Thank you, Google Stadia. Like none of them are acquiring people. And it's like acquiring year. It's like the last year has been like, hey, the big players are acquiring people, and neither of them have done so.
Well, I really think EA looked at Activision's deal and said, you know what, we want that too. We want to be basically absolvent and not have to worry about, you know, the day-to-day retail purchases and stuff. And if we are in a season of acquisition, why not us? You know, I really believe that's what it is. Now, you say Amazon and you say Google, or Alphabet, whatever you want to call them, don't write them off, because in the sense that, yeah, Stadia was a failed experiment, but if EA is pretty much trying to keep operations the way it is, it would just be another revenue stream for Google, right? Like they'll still make money off of all the franchises and everything, and they don't have to worry about putting it on. I mean, they'll probably put it on Stadia anyways, but nobody plays on that platform. I think that the 5 people really don't give a damn about EA per se. But yeah, I mean, I don't see it not being an issue. I mean, I don't see it being an issue. I think Amazon and maybe even Google could say, you know what, if we're going to keep everything the status quo, this is just another revenue stream for us. It's just diversifying our portfolio. So why wouldn't they? It's not necessary that they're trying to grow their gaming division. They just want another revenue stream, you know? So I still think that's possible.
If there's one company that I care about in EA, it's Respawn. And my biggest question with whatever merger they go to, whatever deal they end up doing, what happens to Respawn? Because they are the one white knight that EA owns. They are the one development company that is consistent. They are reliable. They are good at what they do. They do not give in to EA's, requests for using their engine. Respawn's kind of like Bungie, right? Fuck you. We're going to do what we want to do. We're going to use what engine we want to use. Like it or not, that's what we're going to do. Take it or leave it. And EA took it. They're like, hell yeah. Like, these guys are so fucking good. Respawn is so amazing. They're ran so efficiently that they took them no matter what their deal was. They didn't care that they didn't use their engine. So my question is, what happens with Respawn if...
It really depends on who buys them, right? It really depends on the company that buys EA. And as you said, they are like the one last hope that we have for decent games coming out of EA that are not microtransaction filled, So I'm hoping it is a company that really takes them and nurtures them and pretty much allows them to sort of grow into what I think they want to be. I like Titanfall. I love Titanfall 2. I like Apex. That's the only BR I actually play. I love Fallen Order. Everything that they've sort of touched is golden. And I just don't want them to go away. But what about Epic? How about Epic? What do y'all think about them?
See, they've had trouble with Apple, haven't they, with the Fortnite game. So that's why I said, like, if Apple get hold of EA, it's not going anywhere near Epic Store or anything. They'll keep EA off of that.
But why not Epic buy them?
Born Distracted. I think their number one sales they get is from DLC and things like that. Like Darren was talking about earlier, the Ultimate Teams, and that's in, Madden. That's in the FIFA. So they're making a killing on that just alone.
But the rumor is Jedi Fallen Order 2, Vince Zampella, whatever his name is, he actually gave out in an interview a little while ago that it is done, more or less done, Jedi Fallen Order 2. It is done, sort of thing. So maybe that could be released in Game Pass come the end of the year. Who knows?
Well,
all right, so I got kind of a bombshell surprise for you guys.
Okay.
At the end of this article, it says, among all the potential partners, however, it was perhaps Comcast who got the closest to the deal. Comcast CEO Brian Roberts reportedly approached Wilson with an offer to merge NBC Universal with EA. Under the deal, Roberts would take majority control of the merged company, but Wilson would remain chief executive. The people involved didn't agree over the price of the sale and the structure of the combined entity, though, and the agreement fell through within the last month. That's crazy.
Oh,
what
wow.
the hell is Comcast doing looking for fucking EA?
Again, they're looking for another way of just diversification. EA is pretty much, look at it from a business perspective, right? You got all this capital that you're sitting on, right? That capital, as it sits in a bank, it's actually a liability for you because as inflation goes up, your money is getting more and more worthless. So what do you do to sort of stave it off? You want to buy somebody, and Comcast doesn't know shit about gaming. However, EA does. EA runs everything the way it does, and it makes a revenue stream. So you're able to get interest or get money or money back from your investment, and you don't really have to do anything. It's almost like a set it and forget it type situation. So, it makes sense for Comcast or anybody else in that thing. Like, even Disney coming in and saying, you know what, we don't really know much about the gaming stuff, but we'll definitely buy it because this is a good revenue stream. And don't forget, with EA's purchase, all of those licenses that they got with the NFL, with FIFA, with whoever else they got goes with it. So I don't see it being a bad issue. We as gamers always, when we hear acquisition, we normally default to Xbox or a PlayStation or something like that. But we got to understand this is more of a business situation to what to do with your money that's sitting there and how to, sort of spend the money wisely than it is like growing any one subscription service or another, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, Born Distracted just put in the chat, doesn't Netflix have a gaming division? But they're losing money, and they Netflix, so they wouldn't really be an alternative proposition, would they?
I don't think
That's
Netflix
funny,
is big
no,
enough though.
No, Netflix is doing it very slowly. I believe they're not jumping into this head first. They're testing the waters. They're going to enter this whole thing really slowly. Like I'm talking like over the next 10 years, they're going to make minor steps here and there. But Crazy Greek Dude says, I think they want someone more on the TV/film side of the business. I think that someone to help expand the IP beyond games and also share IP for games. That's a really good point, because he also says, they went in on that cloud gaming. And man, if Comcast has got its ear to the ground in the gaming scene, that is kind of scary for me. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys have Comcast or not, Darren. I take it you do not.
No, we don't get that over here.
No, I mean we just got
I think Comcast is big in the South, ain't it?
Well, Comcast is big, but we just got them down here, but nobody's jumping on because not Comcast. From what I've heard from other people, they're like they're a fucking nightmare to have as your ISP, because I think don't they still data cap you at a certain amount or something like that? From what I've heard,
it depends. They used to. It depends on the area, and it also depends on your plan. Because before, like I've had them for as long as I've lived in this house, over 10 years now, and my biggest problem with them was the interconnectivity. It would drop connection, and that's terrible for playing multiplayer games, right? So I'm playing Smite. I'd lose internet for about 15 seconds, and then that kicks me from the game. Then I got to log back on, and that whole process might take 3 to 5 minutes. And in 3 to 5 minutes, I'm sitting in the spawn. First of all, I die, and then I'm sitting in the spawn for another 3 to 5 minutes. I'm levels behind. That's huge, right? And like they were like that for like, I want to say 3 years on and off. Like we had them out here countless times to come and fix replace everything, the cords, like the things outside, the cable box, yada 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 yada. They were out here countless times. It wasn't until within the last like 2 years that I've had like consistent connectivity to the internet.
Do they have fiber, or is it still
podcast? When I was doing Salty's gaming podcast, I let him know. I'd like, I might lose internet tonight, man. Internet's been shoddy this whole week, and it would. I always told him, I was like, if I cut out or something, I'll just come back as soon as I can, kind of thing. What were you gonna say?
But that's what I was saying. Like nobody has. I mean, I've heard of so many people on Twitter and other YouTube shows and stuff who've had Comcast, and I've never heard one thing favorable about that ISP or that company. I've always heard shit shows about their internet service and everything. I don't even think they're fiber, are they? Like AT&T's gone fiber, and of course Google has fiber, but I don't think Comcast has fiber yet, does it? Like, what is your highest speed that you can get with Comcast now?
Yeah, once again, that depends on your area as well. Axel said the data cap is 2 terabytes, so that's where he's from. I know, like, I never used to have a data cap, but they integrated one recently, and then now they have 2 plans, right? And obviously a more expensive plan for no data cap. But like we have to, like the data cap, you just cannot be paying people when you're a gamer. Like I download a game, that's a good chunk of the data cap. We stream, TV shows, that's a huge chunk of the data cap. So, and we got me and my kids and my wife on different devices. So wherever I go, like data cap is not an option because we'll just be paying through the teeth for, the extra data.
Exactly.
So that's one thing I always look for. And I'm glad, like when we moved down to Georgia, I know AT&T and Comcast are down there. So we're at least going to have options on that. So I take it you have AT&T wise?
AT&T, yeah. No, I mean, I've never had any problems with them. I got 1 gig up and down. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with them, and it's pretty reasonable. Plus, with their plan, you also get HBO Max for free. So, yeah.
Cool. So another big thing was we used to have cable, internet, and phone service through them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those three used to cost, well, I think it was over 100 and something a month. Now we're paying just for internet more than we paid for all three of them before. And that was probably 3 or 4 years ago. And you know, a big reason of that is because of Ajit Pai and they, the whole FTC removing, what was it called? Basically, the restrictions on the internet. I can't, net neutrality. They got rid of net neutrality. Yeah. And now, like, these cable companies, especially Comcast is the worst one. They're just raking people over. And we got to get neutrality back.
I think that ship has sailed. Just beyond the horizon. That's not coming back anytime soon. It's just way too lucrative for all these ISPs to not have it, and they're going to fight tooth and nail. And basically the government is beholden to all these corporations anyway. So that's not going to happen. But it doesn't surprise me that Comcast is throwing their hat in the ring, because gaming is not as prohibitively expensive as it used to be. Back in the day, if you wanted to be a gaming develop company or something, you had to make a box and stuff like that, and the box costed you money. But you can see within the next 15, 20 years, I mean, not maybe the next generation, but definitely maybe two generations from now, that I would say 80% of the games that we're going to be getting are going to be streaming. I mean, that's just whether we like it or not, that's going to be basically forced down our throat, because it's just way too lucrative for them to do it otherwise. I mean, they don't have to be liable. They own the game, but they don't have to worry about, renting and sharing and all that. Everything is controlled by them. They don't even have to make a box. They literally just have to make a server and boom, you're up and running. And then with all that other crap that's going on with what's that crap called? Facebook is doing it. What's that thing called? Meta and all that metaverse crap. Gaming is going to be the primary avenue, the Trojan horse that's going to basically help people get into the metaverse. So people see this. And gaming is not what it used to be. Gaming, I mean, like the games that I play mostly are single player, isolated. You sit at home at night, turn off the lights with the headphones on. You play. Gaming is more akin to a social media app these days, and that's what people see. That's what these companies are seeing. So that's why you have the Comcasts coming in, all these other companies that you've never ever heard of and thought of as being quote unquote into gaming, going into gaming, because they're waiting for the eventual future, and they just want to be prepared. They want to get their ducks in a row before it's too little too late. That's why all this stuff is going down. So Comcast throwing their hat in the ring is not a surprise to me. So I'd be surprised if there were not more companies that we just normally do not associate with gaming throwing their hat in the ring going forward. So yeah. Do I like it? No, because that means that EA is not going to do jack shit. They're going to keep everything the way it is. There's going to be microtransaction laden games mostly, and the Respawn single player IPs are going to be few and far between. And yeah, but I just think that that's just what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but could part of the deal, whoever buys them, say like we don't want Respawn? Respawn could get purchased by someone else as a separate entity, like Crystal Dynamics, and that were rumored to be, going to Microsoft at one time. That's a separate entity under Square Enix, isn't it? So
it doesn't look like this is the way they're handling that. Like the WB acquisition, they're looking to shop off their individual development studios. EA does not look like they're willing to do that. It looks like this guy wants to keep everything in order. He says, let me find it real quick. He said, "We are proud to be operating from a position of strength and growth with a portfolio of amazing games built around powerful IP, yada, 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 yada." So that tells me like he's not willing to like split up the company whatsoever.
No, so it's all a package, basically.
How's the internet where you're from, man? How do you have any complaints about internet?
No, I'm with Sky. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I'm with Sky. I'll get perfect internet, even with like my daughter and my wife on the phones, or my daughter on the console upstairs. We can both be online at the same time, and the internet does not slow down whatsoever. So I'm quite happy. It's
Do you know what
pretty
type of
quick.
speeds you get?
Not offhand. I think it's 75. I think it's 75. I think so.
How much do you pay for it? Like, how much is your?
We get the internet and we got a phone, but apparently I tried cancelling that the other day. We got to have the landline to have the internet, apparently. But I pay about 26 pound. I don't know what that is in dollars. I'm
My
afraid.
God.
Oh Jesus! That's 26 pounds. That's like about $52 roughly. I mean,
Oh right, yeah.
yeah, about $52.
Nearly a third.
But that's pretty
Christ.
cheap actually, because I'm paying 80. But
Yeah, that's really good. If
yeah,
he's got no problems with it, so you never get dropped from the internet.
No. We only get dropped if like Sky are doing like work on their internet. That's about it. That's usually happening sort of like early hours of the morning before anyone sort of wants to go on the internet. So we don't get trouble with that. Or if we're going to get in trouble, they send us a text or something or an email saying that this work's going on. It might affect your internet, and that's it. So we're well aware of if any works are going on at that time. But otherwise, no. We could all, even when my wife comes home from work, she'll be sitting there on her phone on the internet. My daughter's upstairs on a Series S, and I'm down here on my Series X or PS4, whatever, and bang, nothing, no problems whatsoever.
But what fascinates you about this? I mean, I know you, Titan, you said you want to make this the topic, but what do they really have under their banner besides sports games that really excite you as a gamer? Like for me, it's the Respawn stuff, right? Just like you said.
Yeah.
But is there really anything
Respawn
else
is
out there that really anyone would care or worth a damn where they went? You know?
I mean, I'm sure there is. I mean, they had the game of the year, didn't they? It Takes Two. So I mean,
Was
there
that
are,
yet?
you know,
Was it that yet?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So like they do have things. So yeah, Crazy Greed just said Mass Effect IP. They've got other games and stuff. I'd have to look at the list, but they're huge.
well, that's the Bioware, the whole Bioware.
I got a special place in my heart for Respawn. Is the thing. Like I love everything Vince Zampella has done. I've like out of all the developers, he's the leader I respect the most out of all of them. I'm talking over God Howard and things like that. So people like that.
See, the shit that scares me about all this is this. We like Respawn. It's our golden goose. We don't want anyone to pluck the golden goose feather. And the same thing with BioWare. Basically, EA took this gem of a corporation and pretty much bent them over and went in dry. And yeah, they have the Mass Effect IP, and I know they've announced a new Mass Effect, but we have no earthly idea what form or shape that IP is going to come out in. And what bothers me about the people who are wanting to throw the hat in the rink for EA is that it's just going to be propagating the status quo. And the status quo is for us as hardcore gamers a shit show. You know, they've destroyed BioWare. They're keeping Respawn, and everything else is just a bunch of microtransaction crap. You know, Madden is a far cry from what it was in its heyday, as is FIFA. They can't make a decent NBA game to save their life. They need, for us as gamers, the reason I think it was fascinating that they would want to be bought was so that somebody could come in and actively fix all of these issues. But as you said, they're not interested in that. So, like, who the fuck cares? You know, that's my thinking. So,
They did announce Dragon Age 4, didn't they? But what's happened to that?
well, yeah, it's the same fucking story. They don't know. I mean, like, look, EA only wants games that are constantly making them money through microtransactions and stuff. BioWare does not do well with that, as you know, the game that they released that they were forced to make into a games as a service showed. EA does not know anymore how to make those games. Respawn making those games that they did was a red, not a red herring, but like a rare occurrence. And that's what bothers me about this whole situation. Like if Comcast, Tencent, all these other players that are there, they're not going to do anything. And I feel that the IPs that we like are going to just die a gruesome death if, somebody more active doesn't come in and take control of this shit, So, yeah. So.
Darren, do you have any more to say on this topic?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's just EA. There's a lot of room for improvement. They have, what the guy said, and I don't care to remember his name because I don't like the guy. Anyone leading EA right now, I don't like because
Andrew House, Wilson, was it?
Andrew Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fuck him. So they got a lot of room for improvement. Like they have he did say one factual thing. They have what do you call it? Established IPs. They have a lot of them. They're just not handling them very well.
Exactly.
Who owns Battlefield?
Dude, EA.
Yeah. So
problem is though, if anyone buys them,
Battlefield,
how can they turn around and say, "Oh, you got to keep the company as it is. I got to stay in charge"? Every company that gets bought out, they get replaced. Look at Bobby Kotick. As soon as Activision deal's gone through, he's gone. You can't sit there and demand, surely, say, look, if you buy us, I stay. I'm staying. No one is budging me.
Well, it worked for Bungie. It worked for Bungie. It worked for Bethesda. Nobody got shackled from either one of those companies yet. Bobby Kotick, because Bobby Kotick's days were numbered anyways with the shit show that happened there with the Cosby Room and all that crap. That was going to happen eventually. Whether if it was Microsoft, Sony, whoever came in, Bobby Kotick was going to get axed. But I think most of these companies that got purchased, I think if they kept the company patent, nobody really lost. Some of the developers lost their jobs, but I don't think anybody else really from management did. So, dude, do y'all remember back in the day with the 360 era, the whole EA big stuff with NBA Street, NFL Street, SSX?
Yeah.
I wish they would bring that shit back, but then they're not. They're not going to do any of that crap.
I don't remember. I'm not recalling that right now. We'll go into that. What was that about?
EA big with SSX, the whole SSX franchise and the snowboarding franchise that they had that was huge during the 360 age. They're not doing anything with that. Yeah, tricky. And then NBA Street was phenomenal, where basically, you played this court basketball, you developed your own character, and you played, and it was like kind of had RPG type elements in it, and it was phenomenal. That whole subdivision of EA Sports was like, I looked forward to that. NBA Street, NFL Street, XSX Tricky, and they sort of got punted to the wayside, so that's the thing, as you said, EA has these IPs, but they're not doing shit, and they're only willing to, work with IPs that they can fill with freaking microtransactions so they can make, they can nickel and dime us to freaking death, so yeah, that's the thing.
They did originally want microtransactions in that Jedi Fallen Order game, wasn't it? And it was like Respawn said, no way.
Yeah, Respawn basically, and the reason Respawn got the clout that they did was because of Apex. If Apex did not hit the way it did, Jedi Fallen Order would have been a different beast altogether. You know that. They just lucked out with Apex.
I brought up Battlefield for a specific reason, because Battlefield is an established franchise, but it has not had a good released game in, my God, 8 years. I think Battlefield 4 was the last very successful one. This one and the last one are basically shit shows.
Mm-hmm.
They, for one reason, it's not for one reason or another. It's for very multiple reasons, these games are failing to hit the mark. And with an established franchise like that, you can't do that. How is that happening? There's so many fails going on in that division, or in that development company, in that development studio. Something's got to give. Changes got to be made. Why is this chief executive not making these changes. He's basically the map. But because imagine if Battlefield was owned by Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 2 games in a row, it just fell flat, and everyone hates it, and everyone's just complaining everything about it. Imagine if that was Xbox.
Oh, of course, you
the
have
hate that game would take.
The rumor was, though, before Battlefield 2042 came out, the rumor was DICE actually went to EA and said, look, the game's not ready. It's nowhere near, it's fucked. You know, we're not there. And apparently whoever at EA, the head honcho, said, I don't care. You're going to release this game regardless. Get it out now. That was it. But
So
DICE actually turned around and said, no.
Booty needs to be more, assertive and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's what that sounds like, right? Whoever's in that position is more assertive, and they're like, hey, I guess the difference is they're not giving them the tools necessary. They're just like, you got to release it on this date no matter what the state of the condition of the game is in. And Matt Booty and Phil Spencer, they'll give them more time. Go ahead.
Plus, they're forcing people down this Frostbite engine. You know, like this Frostbite engine has shown time and time again not to be worth a damn, you know, like, and I know why they're doing it, because they don't have to pay royalties to anybody else's engine that they buy, but they're not willing to change the code. They're not willing to invest the money to update it. And they're forcing these poor developers to go in and do it. I mean, Battlefield, okay, not to take anything away from Battlefield 2042. Yes, it was a shit show, but it was a shit show because of all the freaking bugs. The gameplay loop in and of itself, if you take away the bugs, was actually a fun experience. You know, they did that preview and I heard pretty positive things about it, right? I mean, it didn't have a single player component, and that sort of rubbed me the wrong way. But what they showed and the little bit of the preview that they had, it wasn't free of bugs, but we thought when the preview came out that, these are just little glitches that are going to get ironed out. But when they released the full games, those bugs were never ironed out. So the game itself was a pretty competent game. It was almost near unplayable. It looked like shit. It ran like shit. And I mean,
I own that game. I game share it with my son. My thing is, where's the BR?
It didn't have
VR? You can't be a AAA first-person shooter and not have a BR this day and age. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't give a damn about BR. And they could care less if it's in the game or not. And most, I wouldn't say most, but there's a large group of a fan base that doesn't give a damn about BR, whether it's in or not. That doesn't take away from the point that you have to have it in the game because so many people want it. I am one of them. I want to see more iterations of Battle Royale. I want to see every iteration possible of it. There was an indie game. Oh my gosh, what was it? My buddy in the chat, we used to play it. It was like, oh my god, it was a Battle Royale indie game, and it was like cartoony. I'm gonna go try and find that. You guys, what do you guys think about the Battle Royale and EA not having it while I look this up?
Well, I think I don't know if this has any bearing on it, but maybe they didn't do it. And this is just, again, speculating. Maybe because of how strong Apex is. Maybe they didn't want to try to cannibalize Apex or something, which I don't think that would have been an issue. But what could DICE have offered differently that Apex didn't meet? I mean, I would bet they would say that, when, like, if they made a Battle Royale, people would complain that it would be like a reskinning of Apex. So maybe that had something to do with it. I mean, again, I'm not that well versed in BRs. So, Darren, if you have any insight on this, please go ahead.
No, I'm not very viewed in that, but didn't I hear one of Respawn's main men went over to EA to try and sort this Battlefield rubbish out at one time? He was made in charge of Battlefield thing, wasn't he? I can't remember the name. I'm sure it was someone from Respawn. He moved from Respawn over to DICE to try and sort this mess out because Battlefield have been messing up for the last 3 or 4 years, haven't they? Since like 1 and 5, was it? 5 was all right, but not as good as 4. 4 was the best. I love that one.
they were always playing second fiddle to Call of Duty, and this was their year. This is when they really had a shot this past year because what was on the horizon? You had Call of Duty Vanguard, which was a shit show. Everyone said in the early previews that game is going to be DOA once it comes out. You had Halo, which I'm not going to get into that whole situation with Halo, and it was them.
Why not?
Oh, come on now. I mean, Halo, it's been working. I mean, that has its own issues. I mean, you got 343, another company that really I feel do not know what the fuck they're doing. And so basically the market was wide open, the market was wide fucking open, and it was just, and from the early previews, it was a good game. It was, people were like, the fundamental gameplay loop was awesome. I remember that one scene where this one guy was driving a ATV off of a roof, and it crashed into a helicopter, and it caused the helicopter blow up. And then he like let out a parachute, and he shot his way down, and that was happening like in real life. And I said, hey, that's freaking cool, And they said that you could really do that in game, and somebody said that they actually did it. And then they had that freaking sand tornado everywhere, and people were flying around in these suits in their sand tornado. And what they showed, and from the early previews, that looked pretty good. And I thought this was EA's year because, as I said, they were always playing second fiddle to Call of Duty. So it was just a shame to see them just drop the fucking ball. And you're probably right. Maybe it was, Wilson and them, and said, no, you getting this game out this year because we have no competition. Vanguard is DOA. Halo is, Halo. And yeah. And they pretty much dropped the ball on the whole thing,
The game I was talking about is called Darwin Project. Curious to know anyone that played that game, Darwin Project. It's pretty simple. It wasn't a huge amount of players, but it was fun. It didn't last long. It's dead now, I believe. Kind of like the Culling. The Culling was another one that came and went.
Split game, another one.
Did that come and go already? Because I never even tried that game.
It was basically Portal with multiplayer, or BR with portals, And,
right. I remember you could open the portal and like shoot through it or go through it, right?
Yeah. It was pretty good.
A couple times.
Did you play it?
I never played it. I saw my son playing a couple times. That was it. He loves all shooters. My son Rocky is like shooter master, man. He's like really good at Fortnite. He's really good at any shooter. He's not better than me at Call of Duty yet, but pretty much every other one he's better than me.
I don't have that type of reflex anymore to play with these kids. That problem is I don't play BRs because I'm just not that good at it. These kids are just way more advanced than I could ever be. I mean, well, the thing is, like, the cheats have gone viral. Basically, there's so many more cheats like out there, like, and I can pretty much tell when someone is cheating or not. Also, there's there's macros, there's PC, it's forced crossplay. These are all issues, right? Forced crossplay with PC, Xbox. That's another huge topic that Xbox has to fix. This forced crossplay with PC, it's not fair. When a PC player can either cheat basically at will, and not even if they're not cheating, even if they're just using mouse and keyboard, that's still not the same input, which makes it not fair. But can't you see in the room that you're playing against a PC player or what?
Yes.
So then why do you actively play a game that you see that you're against a PC player with? Why don't you get out of the lobby?
I can still stand a chance on a lot of PC players. I'm good enough to hold my own against anyone that's not cheating. And I use a lot of tactics when I play Battle Royale, especially Call of Duty. I'm always taking cover. I'm always holding down an area. I'm always trying to get into position before the zone kind of closes. I always want to be in position to kind of take the people out that are kind of late to getting into the zone. That's one of my main strategies for any Battle Royale. And me and my buddies, that's proved us a good strategy. We've gotten a lot of wins, but ever since the cheating took over in Call of Duty, we left that.
But can't you also play, when you said mouse and keyboard, can't you play mouse and keyboard with the Xbox anyways? Don't they have mouse and keyboard support?
There's like input lag.
Huh.
So it's not exactly the same thing. It's not exactly the same advantage. But
yeah, I've just Googled it. Vince is in charge of the DICE Los Angeles branch. So I can't remember who mentioned it in the chat. Someone mentioned it. Vince Ampella is in charge of them.
Vince is also in charge of DICE.
Yeah, he's not in charge of all of
DICE,
EA.
Los Angeles branch.
Oh shit! I think this man's going to be spread too thin. I mean, like, how much can you how many balls can you juggle, basically? So
maybe it was him that actually went to EA and said, "Look, the game ain't ready. Don't release it. It's not done, please." And they've just gone above his head. They
had to release it. You say that they were forced. They forced him to release it, the game when the game was not done. Again, if you are sitting in an office in Los Angeles drinking your Starbucks and eating your multi-million-dollar oyster lunch, you really don't care, because all you see is that you have an open market for that holiday season, because you have nobody there. So why not release it? It's like, okay, we know that Vanguard is not going to hit, and we don't know what about Halo, and nobody's like, Halo is pretty much a Walking Dead of franchises right about now. So why not? I mean, I can understand. Okay, from a business standpoint, I could totally understand why they sort of forced their hand on that, because, why not? But so
this last half hour has flown by for me, man. We got to wrap up this show. It's 7:00. So everyone, thanks for joining us. Brutal Legend 2, thanks for joining us, buddy. Not John 907 hanging out with us the entire show. We appreciate that, buddy. Always good seeing you around. Crazy Greek Dude, glad to see you got it home safe and whatnot, and you tuned in. Crazy Greek Dude is an amazing, and absolutely, I mean, a fucking amazing diamond tier. What the hell soccer card game is that called? I'm frauding out right now. What the frick is that? Rocket League. He's an amazing Rocket League player, man.
Shapeshell Nip plays that, doesn't he? He goes on about that.
Yeah, Crazy Greek Dude's awesome, man. He can do the aerials with the best of them, man.
Oh my god.
And he's good to play with, because I am not a diamond tier, but he we do that strategy. I do what I can. We got the rotation stuff. Anyways, we play well together. Oh, you made it to champ. So he's above diamond, man. So yeah, he's always playing that game. His skill has increased since then. So I do not doubt that you are a champ, man, because you are amazing at that game. Doggy Dog, thank you for joining us, buddy. Always welcome, man. We always appreciate Doggy Dog hanging around. I gotta see some more from you in the chat, Doggy. I'm gonna hold you to that next week. All right, buddy.
Doggy's high as fuck. That's why he's not saying shit.
Wise, did you see Tony Grasso's comment?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I said, yeah, I with this little orange bottle, I'm gonna see how many balls I can juggle tonight. So, yeah. But with my arthritis, I can barely juggle one. So okay. Which is okay.
I'm not very good at responding to the chat yet and running the show. I'm going to get better week by week at that. And I do want to add, I didn't get to add anything new to the stream this week, but hopefully next week I'll be adding a couple new things, and you guys will notice a few different things. But also we got to move here shortly, so I'm not sure what's going to happen to the show when I move. All right, so just so you guys know, I will be moving over to summer. We're going to take over the new house on the 15th, 14th, 15th, I think, of next month. So after the
official movie date?
Say that again?
When is the official moving date?
Yeah, well, we can start moving in on the 15th of next month. So
are you going to do it in one fell swoop or what?
Come then, I mean, as soon as possible, right? And then Wise, everyone wish Wise the best wishes for this week. Wise, you want to go ahead and do your outro? Let everyone know what's going on with you, buddy.
Yeah, well, thanks to this little orange thing, if the wife doesn't juggle my balls, I'm going to go to my normal hooker, and hopefully her Parkinson's kicks in. So, maybe the work will work fine. And if she doesn't do it, then maybe I'll have to take matters into my own hands. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, I didn't want to say anything about this, but as y'all know, I am.
You know what? You don't say it, man. Don't let me pressure you.
No, yeah, let's just say I got something major coming up this week. My old friend who has visited me 3 times, and I've kicked him out of the house 3 times. He has come back for the 4th time, and I think we're gonna kick him for permanent this time, but
kick him the hell out, will you?
We'll see. We'll see. It's like one of those guests that won't fucking leave. So it's kind of like me on a podcast. You can't fucking get rid of me. So there you go. So I got something like that going on.
Everyone's like, why does Wise open his house up to these strangers?
Well, I open other things, not just my house. Put it that way. After 18 years of marriage, you're looking for some sort of feeling, wherever that feeling is. Let's put it that way. I want to be touched. Yeah. So let's just say this. Let's just hope for the best. And
Wise, when you said it was getting too hot, I thought you were gonna change costume.
No, I can't change costumes because my wife hid them somewhere. Like she took all this crap.
She's like, no, you ain't doing this.
She's like hid them everywhere. I can't find my box of stuff. She not only hid that, but she hid my fucking games too.
Oh no!
Yeah, like literally, I have like 500 games and they're all fucking gone. And my Transformers are gone. I mean, I don't know. I look. All I'm saying is this.
She's like, these are the reasons why we got guests at the house that you got to kick out.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You know what? I'm looking at it, right? I got this surgery that I'm going in for next week, and she's already started packing up my shit. Does she know something that I don't? That's all I got to say. What the fuck is going on? That's all I got to say.
Hey, let me know when I got to pull a plug.
Yeah, I mean, and she's got, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I know last month she made me increase my life insurance policy. I'm like, what the fuck gives? And all of a sudden I get diagnosed with this shit and then my stuff is gone. What the fuck? All I'm saying, there's something going on and there ain't nothing right in the world, So anyhow.
All right, man. Thank you, Wise. We'll definitely be thinking about you all week. Darren, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing for the week? You got any people you got to kick out of the house?
No, I've got no house moving, nothing going on. No, I'm fine. I'm just got to prepare for my new job next week. I've done all my paperwork. It's for a hospital. The paperwork is unbelievable. Stacks of it. Anyway, Twitter, you can catch me Draconia67, and on Twitch, you can catch me Darren H73 anytime. Just pop in and say hi. I won't bite, I promise. And I won't juggle my balls either.
Can you?
Pub?
I wish
I think I can.
Can you still do it?
Just.
Wise, man, you gotta we gotta get this guy to the States.
Yeah,
real quick.
If he comes to the States, I'm scared that he may never come back to the States. That's the problem.
He's like, look at these internet prices. Get me the fuck out.
If I come over, I'll show you how to stack the boxes properly. How's that? I'll stack your boxes.
There you go. There you go. Do a live remote from Titans moving thing. Yeah, let's do a show there.
He's gonna watch me fail on the PlayStation, and he's moving my boxes.
If he starts throwing like shit bombs and pee bombs, then we know we're in trouble, right? So just like the game. So, but anyhow.
All right, everyone. Until next week, we'll see you every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central. Until next time, let's bring the common back to sense.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for the support.
Take care,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks for the prayers.